Now we'll move right on to conduct of business. Item 10, our first item is receive a report regarding the proposed Bayhill specific plan and YouTube's anticipated growth within the Bayhill Office Park.
Mr. Mayor and council members, good evening. My name is David Woltering. I'm the Community Development Director for the City of San Bruno. Tonight, I'm very excited to present this item to you. The purpose of this agenda item is to provide you with a report about a proposed specific plan to guide possible future growth and redevelopment within the Bayhill area of our community. The Bayhill area is located north of San Bruno Avenue and west of El Camino Real. This possible future growth and redevelopment are largely anticipated because of information city representatives have received from representatives of YouTube, the music and video internet firm that presently has its corporate headquarters here in our city. And there's another reason. The other reason is as we look at the Bayhill Office Park and look at its current pattern of development, we notice that there are many scattered buildings within the Bayhill Park and a great deal of surface parking. And as you look at that, there's an opportunity perhaps to put in subterranean parking and increase the amount of building space. So as YouTube looks at its opportunity for future growth and redevelopment within the park, there's also the opportunity to look at more efficient use of land there. YouTube representatives have indicated to city representatives over the past several months a desire to understand the process for possible additional development on, as well as redevelopment of properties the firm now owns within the Bayhill Office Park. The development and redevelopment would be to support the firm's growing workforce here in San Bruno and needed support facilities. Presently, the firm has about 1,700 employees here in San Bruno and is expecting to grow at a rate of about 300 employees to 350 employees annually. In terms of this development pattern within the Bayhill Office Park, as we have seen, the pattern there includes many individual buildings scattered through the park, which is about 73 acres in area, with these buildings generally being supported by surface parking rather than subsurface or underground parking. Given the increased value of land in this area over time, it has become possible to consider subsurface parking to increase the amount of above-ground building space that may be possible on an individual property. YouTube has been a tenant within the Bayhill Office Park for approximately 10 years, occupying the former 195,000 square foot Gap building at 901 Cherry Avenue. YouTube has invested millions of dollars in this property since its initial lease there. Its current lease of this building expires at the end of 2021. Given its expanding workforce and operations, during the last 3 years, YouTube acquired existing and completed full tenant improvements to two other buildings nearby at 900 Cherry Avenue and 1000 Cherry Avenue, across from its 901 Cherry Avenue headquarters building. YouTube has determined to make a long-term commitment here in San Bruno, as it has more recently acquired 6 additional parcels, 5 of which have buildings on them in the Bayhill Office Park. The firm now owns approximately 900,000 square feet of space besides the headquarters building it leases and occupies at 901 Cherry Avenue. Total within the business park, the Bayhill Office Park, there's approximately 1.5 million square feet of office area. Clearly, YouTube has made a commitment to expand its workforce and operations within the city of San Bruno, given these recent acquisitions. Representatives of the firm have indicated to city staff a need to plan for both its near-term and long-term growth. The intent is to complete initial tenant improvements to buildings in one of its Bayhill Office Park properties for immediate space needs, and to work with the city on developing a campus plan that would involve new development as well as redevelopment of its properties within the office park. The assumption is that land area within the office park could receive additional development if subsurface parking would be introduced on some of these properties. Staff has indicated to YouTube representatives that it would be necessary for the firm to pay for the preparation of a comprehensive planning effort to be managed by the City of San Bruno to consider the firm's growth needs to ensure that the plan is developed in the context of broader community interests, other property owner interests in the office park, and the actual development potential within the Bayhill Office Park. The actual more comprehensive planning document being required by the city staff is a specific plan. This specific plan would consider and determine land uses, the intensities and densities of those land uses, utility and transportation needs, as well as other comprehensive considerations within the overall Bayhill Office Park and shopping center area. The planning effort is anticipated to require approximately 14 to 18 months to complete. Developing the specific plan would involve stakeholder meetings involving other property owners in the office park, as well as public workshops, public meetings, and hearings before the city's Planning Commission and City Council. The possible fiscal and economic impacts of the specific plan would be evaluated in a fiscal and economic study. Additionally, there would be a full environmental impact report, EIR, prepared to assess and suggest mitigation measures where feasible of the possible environmental effects or impacts of the plan. Staff anticipates that the consultant team that would be hired for this project would include a strong public facilitation and engagement component. It is the intent of this planning effort to not only create an opportunity for YouTube to satisfy its near-term and long-term growth needs, including developing an internal campus plan for the firm within the Bayhill Office Park, but to do so in a manner that plans of YouTube within the Bayhill Office Park integrate that park and the community where there are true benefits and opportunities for all interests. Community benefits that are anticipated to be considered in this process include providing housing opportunities within the community, new community facilities such as community building space and/or walk and bike plan improvements, and ongoing sources of new revenue for the City of San Bruno. Staff anticipates completing and distributing a request for proposals to assemble a team for this comprehensive planning effort later this month. The City Council would need to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with a selected consultant team. This could occur in March or April of this year. Staff anticipates that YouTube would pay all costs for the planning effort, including staff costs. The consultant team would be managed by city staff. Thank you. That concludes my report. I would be pleased to answer any questions you may have on my report. In addition, I would like to point out that there are representatives here from YouTube, including Drew Sherwood, Director of Real Estate and Workspace Services. I think that Drew tonight is prepared to provide a brief presentation and to answer any questions you may have. And again, I would be happy to answer any questions you may have on my report. Thank you so much.
Anything for David at this time before Drew speaks? Drew, you're on.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, staff, and the community, thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Drew Sherwood, and as David mentioned, I lead real estate, facilities, and workplace services for YouTube. Now, I'm assuming, based on some previous comments from members of the community and our own council here, that you are all familiar with YouTube. So, however, I have some brief information to share a little bit about our company and our evolution over the years. So, A little bit about me first. So, YouTube is home to millions of extroverted creators that love to be on camera. And like many of my colleagues that are more on the internal side of YouTube, it's not necessarily where I like to hang out in the spotlight. So, but that said, I really anticipated and looked forward to coming here tonight to be able to share a little about who we are and our excitement to collaboratively work with the city through this process. So, YouTube is an internet platform that allows billions of people around the globe to discover, watch, and share videos. But the company had a pretty humble beginning. In 2005, in a small rented room above an Amici's Pizza in San Mateo, YouTube was born. But in 2006, YouTube chose to move to San Bruno to continue their growth and expansion. For over 10 years now, we have proudly called San Bruno home. And during that time, we've grown from this scrappy internet video outpost to a global media company whose mission is to give everyone a voice and to share the world with the community that uses our service. We continue to grow here in San Bruno, and we would love for that growth to be here. And I'm honored to have the opportunity to support the city's initiation of a specific plan to help with the evaluation of that growth. We see the initiation of this specific plan process as the first step in a series of many engagements with the city, with the community, and with adjacent local business owners. You know, we're a data-driven company, and we believe the best outcomes and the best projects come from collecting information in diverse perspectives. The specific plan is exactly a vehicle for that. So we want YouTube to continue to be a source of pride for San Bruno. And I speak for all of my colleagues when I say that we highly are excited and look forward to working with all of you openly through this process. And again, I appreciate the time here tonight to share a little bit about who we are and our excitement about the future here in San Bruno. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Drew, and all of your associated YouTubers that happen to be here this evening, as well as your development team. Ken and I have been on the development subcommittee, and I've had the privilege of meeting a lot of the people involved in what they're projecting to do here at Bayhill. And they'll tell you the first thing I said to them was, YouTube's here, we don't want to build a wall, we want you to integrate into the community. And that's exactly what they're planning on doing. They're going to blend into San Bruno and really work with us. It's very, very exciting. They have a 20-year plan, so you'll see a lot of things happening in the very near future, and the specific plan is only just the start. So we really look forward to working with you. So thank you very much.